As of this moment, Pierre Poilievre is a threat to trans rights in Canada. I wasn't so sure before from just seeing that he follows accounts like Maxime Bernier and J.K. Rowling on Twitter. When it comes to an individual, you can always, or some could always justify it based on it just being one of an individual's many opinions, or in the case of Maxime Bernier, him being a member of the relative opposition would provide a sort of, oh, I should follow my competition. No, and J.K. Rowling has the works of Harry Potter. Maybe you could separate the art from the artist if you don't care about trans people. But seeing that Pierre Poilievre, A, likes to leave out gender identity in his speeches about Canadian equality, and more importantly, B, Pierre Poilievre follows the Daily Wire on Twitter. The Daily Wire does not produce art. The Daily Wire is not a competing candidate for any government race of any sort. The Daily Wire is an American white supremacist hate group that regularly, as in more than daily, propagates messages of genocide towards not just trans people, but the entire LGBTQ plus community. Trans people are just generally the focus because they tend to galvanize white supremacists more than anything else. In the past, Pierre Poilievre has shown a tendency to move towards supporting white supremacists rather than an institution, but the individuals themselves, such as those of the Freedom Convoy. And that's not to say that the Freedom Convoy was an organization of white supremacists. However, it is one of the two major talking points of white supremacy in the far right now, anti-vaccine sentiment. The other one is transphobia. And for months, I've wondered about Pierre Poilievre's stance on transphobia. I've put some research into his votes of the past. He did not vote on the transgender rights bills. I could not find why. There is a bit of encouragement in that recently, in I believe it was 2020, he did vote yes on the federal ban of conversion therapy. So I thought maybe that meant that he does support the LGBTQ community. However, seeing him follow the Daily Wire does not cast doubt, it ensures it. There is no reason for anyone to follow the Daily Wire. Perhaps a content creator could argue that they make content off arguing against the Daily Wire, but the Daily Wire regularly peddles what is, by law, considered hate speech in Canada. It would be unacceptable for any government employee to be in support of the Daily Wire, and I believe that is what Pierre Poilievre is doing by following them. It is not exactly direct, but it is nonetheless open support of this white supremacist hate group. And as I was saying, no government employee should do such a thing, let alone the leader of a federal party and a potential Prime Minister of Canada must not stand in opposition to human rights. So I remind you, I ask you, I beg you, please remember to vote defensively in the many years away election. That is, unless Mr. Poilievre would like to clarify his stance on trans rights and why he is supporting white supremacist, anti-trans, anti-human rights, anti-LGBT, genocidal groups like the Daily Wire. Thank you for listening. This has been the LiveHardCorner.